Mom, Jackson's being annoying. Addie won't share.
There.
Jackson's being rude.
Sibling squabbles, sibling fights, jealousy, competition, hearing "Mom" 5,000 times a day. It's a lot. So today's video, we are talking about handling sibling squabbles or sibling fights, stuff along those lines. Today's video is also a part of a collaboration with Katie from Life in the Mundane. So be sure to check out her channel and the playlist that I will have in the description box below. So first, I would like to apologize for the quality of my video. As y'all can see, I am in my truck. I am having my 3-hour glucose test done today. If y'all saw my pregnancy update, I obviously failed my 1 hour, and I really wanted to participate in this collaboration. And y'all will see along with my vlogs, because I'm vlogging through my glucose test, and we are going out of town. I'm vlogging through that as well. So y'all will see little clips of kind of the same and me explaining things. But this is the only time that I have to sit down and talk about this video topic, because we are going out of town tomorrow. It is 12:15 right now on Tuesday, and we leave tomorrow morning. And once I get home, like, it's gonna be pure chaos. We gotta pack and we gotta get everything ready because we are leaving first thing in the morning. And I really felt like the Lord wanted me to share what was on my heart for this, and to help encourage you mamas out there. And also, you know, this is just as much for me as it is for you guys. By no means do I have it all together, but this is just the only snippet of time that I had to sit down and talk about this. So like I said, please excuse the quality of it by me sitting in my truck. But as I always say, real life, because it's all I got. I'm cheating just a little bit on my glucose test. Y'all saw that. It wasn't very much water, right? Okay. I have one more blood draw to go. Anyway, so handling sibling fights, sibling chaos. So when you have, I mean, even just 2 children, there can be a lot of competition between kids. And there can be fights and unfairness and jealousy and all those things, okay? And I honestly get asked this a lot. As a mom of almost, well, we'll be 10 children soon. Just because you have a bunch of kids doesn't mean that you don't deal with this. Like, we probably deal with this a whole lot more because of having so many children and the wide age range as well. Okay, so I really want to first start off by encouraging you mamas out there. Being a mom is hard work, okay? Whether you have 1 child or many children. Just because I have a bunch of kids does not mean that I have it all together, because that's my children. I do not. Dealing with sibling squabbles and fights is a thing that irritates me the most. I don't have the patience for it. And I actually share a little bit about this in my question and answer video that'll be coming out, I believe, on Friday. Okay, so be on the lookout for that. But I share my heart because someone had asked, like, how do you handle these? And it is so hard. And I think us knowing that as a mom, that we're in this together, and that this mom doesn't have it all together. Like, we tend to look at other families and think their kids must never fight, or this mom handles it so well, or whatever. But it's just hard, okay? That's the point of this, is it's hard handling those situations, because let's just say, you know, between 2 children, if there's a fight, like, not that you're necessarily choosing sides, but you're dealing with emotions and feelings of each child, and you want to be fair and you want to be there for each of them. So anyways, first and foremost, we are born with a sin nature. Like, kids, you know, we don't have to teach them to do some of these things. It's out of a sin nature that they are born with, that they do, to be mean to a sibling. We just had, I think it was last night, one of our kids was bouncing around in a blanket. It was like a rocket ship, so his feet are inside of it. And so he's bouncing around in it, and another kid stepped on the tail of it, and he fell, and he got hurt. thinking? And of course, the kid that got hurt was upset. I'm like, so sometimes kids do things without thinking, and it's a natural thing for some children to be more self-centered, more selfish than others, and some are just more naturally generous with their time, with their feelings, with their things. So you don't have to deal with those emotions as much with those children. You know what I mean? Some children are naturally more competitive and are always looking out for their mine in the situation. You know, like I went shopping with our kids recently, and we have a child that, even though they have everything that they need, and I've stated that to them, I've purchased everything for you, you don't need anything, they still, it's like they want and they get jealous because somebody else is getting something, but they need it. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of competition, there's a lot of feelings and a lot of emotions that play into brothers and sisters. And one thing that I have learned, okay, I am the oldest of 4 children, but I am much older than them. So I wasn't raised with that competition issue, but seeing it in my kids, and nobody can irritate you or knows how to push your buttons more than your brother or your sister, because they see you every single day. They know how you work, how you think, how you operate, and they know exactly what to say to get you revved up, you know? So all those things come into play. So as a mom, what is our job to handle these situations? Okay, so first and foremost, I think getting to the heart of the issue is key. So if we see certain character traits that are leading to certain squabbles or certain arguments or whatever, like usually there's a common thread amongst them. It's hard like saying this because I don't want to shame any of my children, because, you know, I'm a mom. And I love them all dearly, but they are each unique and different and have their own strengths and their own weaknesses. Just like me, I have strengths and I have weaknesses, and so does Nathan. So getting to the heart of the issue and finding out the root cause of why a certain child is always causing conflict, I think is the number one thing first. There are many different Bible studies out there for families and brothers and sisters that look amazing. We personally have not done any yet. I do want to. It's on my list, but we'll get there one day, right? But I have heard high recommendations, but I don't want to like specifically lead y'all to one resource because I don't have a personal experience with that. So I'm sure some other moms in this collab will be sharing a resource like that. Okay, so my advice is to get to the root and the heart of the issue that you can see a common thread with. Okay, we do a lot of things with our children trying to build up character. So if our kids are bickering, and let's just amongst a few of them, first off, we have a 0 violence tolerance. Like there is no hitting, no kicking, no biting, no name calling, anything like that. Because I think it's wrong and it's not showing Christ-like character. And that's what, I say to them, okay, our anger gets the best of us, but you have to learn to walk away. You are responsible for your actions. Even if another child comes and starts the argument, if you play into it, you are a part of the problem as well, whether it's with words or with, actions. So you are to tell them kindly, please stop doing whatever it is that they're doing. Or when you say this, that hurts my feelings. It is your job to relay to your brother or sister how that makes you feel. And then if they do not respect you, then you come and get mom and dad. So I want them to try to handle it first. And if that does not work, then coming and getting me or Nathan, then we will get involved and, try to get to the root of the cause. And usually, if they have walked away and done that, the child that has done the appropriate thing and walk away doesn't get in trouble. Okay? That's what they have to learn to do, is to walk away. Because that is hard to do when you're hurt. It's hard not to retaliate. It is very, very hard. And so we sit them down We talk to them. We try to figure out, how everything started. And then we deal with the child who is at fault. And we talk to them separately then. So we take a few minutes and talk to them separately. Okay. And usually they were hurt along, the way or whatever. But if they retaliated, so if both sides are playing into it, we have them say something that they like about each other by looking each other in the eye and saying, I like your hair. I like your eyes. I like the way that you draw. So, they come up with all different things to say of what they like. And we have them hug and kiss and make up. Now, if things are, just completely out of control or whatever, we will have the child who's at fault. And I'm talking about, different situations and different things happening. We will have the child at fault do the other child's chores. So say if one child is picking on another child, the child that's doing the picking does the other kid's chores. That usually, they know that's what will happen. And no kid wants more work. So they have to do their own chores and the other kid's chores. And it that honestly probably works the absolute best. So trying to be proactive. We don't do this every single night. We do this periodically, just kind of as I can see and sense that there's a lot of different squabbles happening and so on and so forth. When we're sitting around the dining room table, I'll have everybody go around and everybody says something about each other that they like or something that they love or appreciate about each other. Trying to stay proactive is another great way to stay ahead of the arguments. And also, if you see that a child is getting hurt over and over again, pulling them aside and talking with them and talking through their feelings and stuff kind of helps them from lashing out later on. So we try to be proactive. It's hard with being a busy family, but that is a great way to stay ahead of the fights and the arguments as well. Another way is if a specific child is usually, involved in some way or some shape or form, is to sit down and pray with them and say, let's pray about these things that are happening, and God can help you, to control your temper, to control your anger, and from reacting this way. And so we will pray with them, we will have them pray, and then I also encourage them to pray on their own. And I'm like, when you're going to bed and you're thinking of some things or, whatever, it's your job to pray and build that relationship with the Lord, and He will help you, guide you through these feelings and these events that are happening each day so that you learn to not retaliate and not, react when something happens. And sometimes that's hard, especially with younger children that, don't necessarily understand. But I think it's important that we teach them that up front, that we are teaching them to go to the Lord to help them in any area of their lives that they need help with, not just with, dealing with a sibling or however. But that also, we have seen a lot of fruit come from that as well. Another thing that we try to do is taking a set amount of time and being with each of our children one-on-one. Whether it's, just at home, we can pull them aside and we can talk and we can read together, we can play a game, a puzzle, draw, whatever. Or we can actually leave and go out to lunch. Just spending time with each child. I think filling up their love tanks helps as well. Because when they feel loved, then they are going to dish out more love than any, anger feelings that they are going to have. And another thing is leading by example. Okay, I can be a hothead. I am definitely more hot-headed than Nathan. And if I am having an issue controlling my hot-headedness, my feelings, it bleeds over to everybody else. And that is a really hard thing to swallow. But it's my job to lead by example. and to do all these same practices that I'm trying to teach my children. I need to take time in prayer. I need to take time in being with the Lord and, worship music, journal, whatever is going to help me. And in turn, when my kids see me doing that, that is how they are going to learn. So those are just my thoughts that I really felt like God wanted me to share, and that I am talking just as much to myself as I am talking to everybody else. It is not easy dealing with all this, and especially if it's happening a lot during a certain season of life. It is very hard and it's overwhelming to go through it and to deal with it. So first and foremost, know that you are not alone. Every mom deals with this. And it's just navigating through it and teaching our kids the best way that we can. So I hope that you all enjoyed. Be sure to check out the playlist of all the other mamas sharing. I know that y'all will glean some wisdom from them. I am looking forward to it as well. Again, I apologize for the quality of this video, but mama's gonna do what she can when she can, and this is what I got today. So we will see you in the next video, and I hope that you all have a blessed day. Thanks. Bye.